2 minutes on the path of grace.
Isaiah chapter 44, starting in verse 21. Listen carefully. Remember these, O Jacob and Israel, for you are my servant. I have formed you. You are my servant, O Israel. You will not be forgotten by me. Let me pause right there. Even though over and over throughout history, Israel seemed to forget about God and turn to idolatry, God says, you will not be forgotten by me. He then goes on in verse 22 and says, I have blotted out like a thick cloud your transgressions, and like a cloud your sins. Return to me, for I have redeemed you. Did you hear that? And more importantly, did you notice the order of things here? And did you notice as I read it, how different the workings of God are than the workings of religion and the workings of worldly belief systems? The invitation given by God is pretty much the opposite of the typical altar call. God says, I have blotted out your transgressions. I have blotted out your sins. Think about that, my friend. If something is blotted out, it is removed. It cannot be seen anymore. God says, I have blotted out your transgressions. I have blotted out your sins. And then he says, return to me, for I have redeemed you. I've already blotted out your sins. I've already blotted out all of your transgressions. I have redeemed you. So, turn to me. Return to me. Come to me. That, it seems, is quite different from so many invitations I have heard throughout the years. Typically, the invitations I have heard are backwards. It's more like, return to God, turn to God, come to God, so that He will blot out your sins. Come to God, so that He will, as a result of your coming to Him, blot out your transgressions. Come to God, and He will redeem you. Now, the difference may seem very subtle, but when you really think about it, in reality, it's huge.
To hear more, visit jamesflanders.com.